Oh, here you go. This is it right here. Okay, so this is Nelson's.
No, it's not my first, but
No, but this is your first that you sold to somebody else, I think. Or really close to it.
yeah.
Who remembers the last time we were in this room together?
I don't remember.
Those were pretty interesting memories. It was October 2007.
When you think about us celebrating our 20th anniversary this year, very few companies have survived that long.
The beginning was board games, war games, Dungeons and Dragons, and a lot of arcade games. Alex was the first one to buy a Commodore 64K, then went to a 128K. I had an Atari and a Intellivision.
We got this incredible golden age of PC games. Yeah. I mean, this is when guys like Romero and Carmack were revolutionizing the industry with Doom.
Also, you know, the flight sims.
Red Baron was
Red Baron
Commander.
and Falcon.
transformational games.
Falcon was huge.
Falcon you needed.
Yeah.
You needed the
yeah.
horsepower. You know, there's this huge gap in between the games that are out that have all this potential to be unlocked if you have the right hardware in the exact right configuration. Nelson called me and goes, hey, you know, I'm building all these computers for people. Do you think there's a market for it? I mean, do you think outside of our friends? I said, absolutely there's a market for it.
And the focus was, they don't have to worry about the hardware. It's just play whatever game you want.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about the hardware that's powering it. You don't have to be limited any of those issues.
I never had a formal education in computer engineering or anything like that. I worked at, you know, some different jobs within banks, and I started getting proficient at using their computer systems.
I was in a real grind of a job. I was working day and night in a clinic. Just didn't like working there, didn't like the environment. I think I was just in the right place at the right time when I got the call from Nelson.
I remember walking into the building, and you were on the phone, and he was on the phone, and Fabian was sitting on the couch.
The first time I saw Frank, he was like 15 years old. He comes in the room, and my first thought was, wow, we really got to lock the door. Just like anybody can walk in here.
What's funny is that such a little company really stood out with a lot of different innovations.
Back then, it was just that focus on the customer. Like, we understand the customer so well because we are our own customer. Yeah. And we just wanted to build the solutions that we ourselves wanted to build for ourselves, I remember. And you were like, and you were always pushing the limit of, we're going to go do something. And I always remember our initial instinct was like, he's so freaking crazy. And then he always ended up being right.
Yeah. This was the first chassis that we designed from the ground up.
The Predator was the first time that we were able to put that iconic design that we'd always envisioned, our complete idea. This is the world's first liquid-cooled desktop.
We got a call from LucasArts, and I'll never forget that call. I got pulled into it, and they said, we got some really good news for you. We want you to build the Star Wars branded computer that we're going to use at our anniversary celebration.
Alienware created the world's first gaming notebooks. Now you think about how many gaming notebooks are out there. There's literally millions of them sold in the industry every single year, and it all started right here, basically. It's pretty amazing. That's the building I walked into and was met by two
Alex
people.
is currently using.
This is Nelson enjoying tech support. This is literally in the first few months of the launch, after we launched.
Probably with Josh this time. I was
18?
17, 18, yeah. I had a lot
Here
of
it
hair.
is.
So
That's a really good picture.
That's Frankie.
So this was our test bench. In order to go to the restroom, which was over here, you'd have to move all the 27-inch monitors, which weighed 70 pounds. This is the original workbench.
That's the original upstairs room.
This is where we would build about one computer every 3 days.
So it's amazing right now to reflect on the fact that it's not only the 20th anniversary of Alienware, but also the 10th anniversary of the Dell acquisition.
A year before Michael calls us, we noticed that Dell, in an advertisement or in a review, came out with an XPS system. And Alex and myself and all the other executives were very concerned, obviously, because Dell is a formidable opponent. Anything they do is going to be great. So I was a little bit concerned. Immediately, I turned to Alex and I said, Alex, I'm going to send him an email.
Oh my gosh, I remember
just
that.
as an introduction,
Oh.
and see what happens. So I sent him an email. I sent Michael an email.
And
I guessed it.
The response was so immediate that it unnerved us.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh my God, he answered right away.
It was like,
it really took us off our
I don't know what I
game.
said in the email. I know it's something.
You just introduced yourself, and I think you said, hey, there's some things maybe we can collaborate on.
Yeah.
Because we were coming out with some good, cool video
Right,
stuff
right.
that they might be able to
Right,
use.
right.
And I think we both got caught so off guard
Yeah.
when it was literally like, I'm talking seconds, maybe
he's-
45 seconds.
I think Michael's very responsive. Has always been very responsive with emails and stuff. So we certainly didn't know.
We
that.
didn't know.
What started this whole thing was, hey, you know what? I love PCs. I love gaming. I love making people feel happy. And if we could put all this together and somehow make some money from it, it's a beautiful thing. And that was driven by passion.
Well, you guys gave us a foundation that has enabled us to not only survive for the past 20 years and the past 10 years since Dell, but to thrive as much as we have. While a lot of things have changed in the last 10 years, the things that matter the most to our customers, the things that matter the most to our people, they have all remained the same. And that is the culture that you guys created here, the passion that we all have for building amazing products and for doing the right thing for the customer. Those things are core in everything that we do.
I mean, all the work, the bad parts and the good parts, all that effort, the passion, the endless nights, driving forward, trying to get that light at the end of the tunnel for yourself, for the customer, for the product. Man, that passion still exists. That's incredible. That makes me feel really good. When I go home today, I'm going to reflect on that.